Hey, welcome everyone to the Sketch Zone Podcast. I'm Carlos Gomez. With us this week, we're going to be talking to a multi-talented Mickey Ficky. You guys came to visit. Oh, by the way, there's no sound effects, so studio audience, please. Hey, welcome DJ Tony Drake.
What's going on, you guys? What's going on?
Woo! Yeah.
Appreciate y'all having me on.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming, man.
it's not every day that we get to talk to someone who just basically can't make up his mind, so he does everything.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Welcome. Before we get into it, we're going to go ahead and welcome Charlie B. Williams III.
What's up, everyone? We're back. Glad to be back. I'm here. It's getting close to Christmas. And I go on vacation next week. I'm really excited.
So that means he's going to have a lot to talk about because Charlie with plenty of time means Charlie does plenty of research on all kinds of things.
I have a list. Shut up. I have a list of all type of stuff.
We're talking about, I said, ooh, artist al fresco. Charlie said, hey, let me tell you about this editing program, and went on for like 15 minutes.
But you're like excited though.
I am. I saved the link, so I will be researching later. Hey, Jack Kasperzak is here.
I'm half here. I am without sound effects. I am on a new computer, still trying to figure this bad boy out.
You sound really good though.
So well, that's because I got a pro level mic.
You know what?
That works.
Yeah, buddy.
But I don't have the aggregator working for the sound effects, so you're gonna have to deal with my terrible impersonation of crickets.
Ooh.
About to get the crickets this week.
Now's your chance to get in all your bad jokes.
Yeah, Carlos. He's talking to you.
Hey, welcome to episode 165. We've done this 164 other times.
Yeah. You wouldn't know it.
If you go to sketch.zone, you can catch up with all of those other ones. So it seems to me that we should be fine. We know what we're doing now.
Yeah.
So
Kind of.
Yeah, like sound effects.
Yeah. So that means we're gonna go ahead and I see.
Yeah.
See, I can't
Got
do
you.
it.
You just rub it in, huh?
Hey everyone, if you want to use the Sketch Zone hotline to reach anyone in the audience, interact with the show, you can use 408 Sketch 8. That's 408-753-8248. International callers 011-408-753-8248. Otherwise, if you're watching live on YouTube and even Twitch, you can go ahead and interact with us using the chat room. Now that we got that out of the way, who wants to sing I believe every day's a good day when you paint?
Well, if you beatbox me, I'll do it.
If you leave me.
You have a DJ. You do have a DJ.
We do have a DJ.
Hey, Dave Atsey. Hello, sir.
I like
Hi,
turtles.
Dave.
Turtle time.
All right. So
Turtles
this
for
week we did the fun prompt was actually for 2 weeks. We have a rooster sea captain squeezing in Van Gogh style.
Nice.
So let's see what the nation did. Maestro, please.
Whoa. Okay.
Came right out of the gate.
Title's like, give me something hard.
Yeah, I thought that people were gonna have trouble with this one, and
then
wow. Yeah. Okay.
Shiloh crushed. Holy!
Yo, how long did that take you, Shiloh?
I know. It might be a little too early. Shiloh has like a real job and kids and stuff. He's a responsible adult.
Yeah, he killed it though.
Dude, right. I love it.
Crushed. Good job, Shiloh.
Yo.
Also,
Wall, Art, Joey Wall.
Squeezing a crab.
Yep. Crab feast. Red Lobster. All you can eat crab. So yeah, Joey killed it too. Holy cow.
People just flexing their muscles today.
Joey's I believe he's in England, so he's probably still sleeping. He usually wakes up during the show.
During the show, yeah. Yeah.
So he's probably still sleeping. So when you watch this later, Joey, good job. Killed it.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's see. Like this. Someone kind of did okay. Sketchbook Jack Casper's chiming in
with color,
choking the chicken. Whoa,
it's a rooster. God, what's wrong with you, Carlos?
I'm Jew.
I do like how he fit the Van Gogh in there. In the little frame there.
Put it in there randomly.
Jack does that. He'll just like stick it in there. So like, yo, I did it. Here it is.
It's there. I'm trying to mess up my drawing with some weird topic.
He's like, it's there. Be happy. It's there.
I like it though. I like it a lot. Anyone else? Hey-o, Landon Wilson.
Nice, Landon.
He's on the poop deck.
Good job.
Squeezing.
That is what he's doing. What?
That is what he's doing.
Oh,
nice. Kind of squeezing that came to mind.
I like this. I feel like, guys, I don't know. You can like back me up here if you feel the same. I feel like this one, when we use the whole style tab, I feel like this is the most successful one for me.
It really pushes people. I actually started watching YouTube videos on how to paint in Photoshop in Van Gogh style.
Wow, you like started research.
Wow.
And then I didn't do it. So whatever.
You didn't do it.
No, but like this one, everybody really went in and tried. I mean, what was the one we did? What was the other style? The cartoon.
The Chuck Jones one.
Chuck Jones one. They did go. This one just seems like captured a little bit more, even though I thought the subject matter was a little harder, like more abstract, this whole chicken thing, and it's good.
It's a rooster.
Landon.
Rooster, I'm sorry.
Landon's just nasty.
Treasure map.
I like it.
I do too. I'm not lying. Hey,
hey, that's a good one right there. That's a good one.
That looks so real and lifelike.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good Photoshop there.
Captain.
Speaking of DJ Tony Drake, can you help us pick a new one? So we have the categories are adjective, animal, character, action, style, and location.
Gotcha.
Sweet spot is between 2 and 3. 4 has to be has a tendency to be challenging. We have had people just say, screw it, do all 6.
Right. Okay.
Social media will love or hate you depending on what you say here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. This is going to be probably mad random.
Uh-oh.
We lost him. We lost him.
Oh, wait 1 second to see.
See if he comes back.
Come back. You can come back to us.
There
he is.
Okay, cool.
Okay, he's back.
Okay, cool. So for adjective, let's go funky.
Oh, you're gonna provide stuff.
You can provide it. Okay, cool.
Because you know what we can do. I'll lock that one down. But this is what we can do. Like if you just tell me the categories, I'll hit prompt me.
Oh, my bad. Okay, cool.
If you have something in mind, Mr. Director, you tell.
Nah. I'll play by the rules. So let's go adjective. Let's go action. And we'll do location and style.
Okay, those are good ones. I like it. I feel good about this. Everyone remember funky. I'm gonna write it down. All right, let's see what happens. A fearless castle ruining
Charles Schultz. We have done Charles Schultz before.
Yeah, we have.
We have.
So what do we want to do? We're gonna lock down castle.
I like Castle.
I think Castle's a good one.
Okay. Do we want to keep anything else? Anyone?
No, let's go with that.
Okay. How about you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and click character because we need or no, I guess we don't need. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
Good.
Hulking,
leave it open.
slowing, film noir, castle.
That's very
Wow.
Ambiguous.
So dreary.
But the thing is, you can draw basically anything you want.
This is true.
Or do we want to click character too?
That might make it a little bit easier.
Okay.
All right, let's do characters.
All right. Right. Do we want to lock anything down like film noir? I think
Film Noir Castle. That sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go.
Motherly Fisher.
Fisher.
Yo.
What the hell's a Fisher?
Yo.
Guy fishing. I don't know. We can re-roll that one. Motherly and Frowning's okay.
Okay.
Let's get a new character.
Here we go. A motherly servant, frowning in a castle in a film noir style. I like it. I'm ready.
You like it?
I do.
Let's go with it.
With that one?
Good one.
Okay.
You have.
Motherly,
I know.
servant, Frowning.
All right. So that's it. A motherly servant, frowning in a castle in a film noir style.
Or is it a frowning castle?
I don't know.
Ooh,
You
there it is.
tell me. That's the cool thing about this thing.
Cool.
I believe every day's a good day when you paint.
It's just not the same without the intro and outro.
It's okay. Feels like 3 years ago.
But it's
Feels like 3 years ago. Nice. Old school. We're going back.
All silent and awkward.
We used to have like the internal hangout crickets. At least. And they took that. Then Google took it away from us. Started making this real skimpy.
All right. So, hey, did you guys happen to see the Marvel trailer this week?
Yo, we gonna talk about this right now?
Do we want to?
I don't know. How long you got? Come on, it was an event. It was an event. There was 2 Marvel trailers this month. It's been great. Yeah. What did you think about it, Carlos?
I thought it was I.
Yo, I can't stand you. You didn't like it?
Right. Tony, did you see the trailer?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of rocking with you. It was all right.
It's the preview one, right? Yeah.
I can't. I'm definitely excited for the movie, but
yeah,
I don't think it was like, I don't think it was mind blowing, right? Just personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that like we probably have another 2-3 years until it's released.
No. 2-3 years.
Like 4 or 5 years until they release it. Like they got a marketing budget out this world.
It's probably got like a year.
A year?
Possibly a year.
Isn't it?
I think it might be fall time. I think.
I thought it was summer 2019.
Oh, is it summer? I don't know. I
think
thought
so.
it was like I was assuming it was like, you know, like in the summer, like going into fall, but I could be wrong.
Let me see if Google knows. Hey Google, when is the next Marvel movie coming out?
What do you want to tell you, Captain Marvel?
According to Wikipedia, Captain America: Civil War is the first film in the franchise's phase 2.
Google, stop.
Google just messed up. Google's like 3 years behind.
She's like, Captain America. No,
Well, the next Marvel movie officially will be Captain Marvel. Did you guys watch that trailer?
No. What's that?
I want to say yes, but I can't.
So Captain Marvel is the next new character they introduce. Pretty strong character in terms of comic book lore. Female character. She's basically like, well, she's badass. I don't know. You gotta watch the trailer. It's just Captain Marvel. It's a new one. She's part of the Avengers eventually.
I agree with Dave Atsy in the chat.
What do you say?
Google is dumb as shit.
Yeah. So, but I think you might be right. Tony. I think it might be like a block. I just feel like that was quick. I mean, I know they're shooting it now, but I feel like it was summer. It was quick. I thought it was like later, but yeah, the next one's like March.
Yeah, I think Captain Marvel is March, and then the Avengers is, I want to say, the next month in April.
Oh, okay. That'd be nice.
It's saying here April 26, 2019.
Okay, cool. Great.
Okay.
January, February, March, April. So that's not bad.
Okay.
And then, look up when's the next Black Panther?
They got another one?
They're doing 2. They started shooting.
Oh, they started shooting already?
Yeah, I think they were like in the if it hasn't started, it starts in like January or something like that. I thought.
True.
Which will be super exciting.
Oh yeah.
No, I always hate the first trailers, but I was really excited about it because I started watching a bunch of stuff. A bunch of people like doing like the whole. I like watching people's reveal trailers on YouTube. That's kind of one of the unique things about YouTube. I watch when they watch a trailer and get excited about it. But you know the guy, what was it Kevin Smith?
Yeah.
He's a big comic book person too, so it was entertaining watching his reveal of him watching the trailer a couple of times. Do you know he's doing a new Jay and Silent Bob movie?
Yeah,
starting in January.
Yeah,
that should be interesting. He said the name. I can't remember what the name is, but yeah, they it's finally like. I guess it's been like a couple of years coming, but he starts shooting in like January or something this year.
So according to denofgeek.com, it looks like the next Black Panther movie is going to be released between 2020 and 2022.
So that's next year.
They have set, or not set, but the one specific date is February 12, 2021.
So they usually do like what, 3 in a year? I thought.
Is it that many? They do 3 a year.
If you think about it, last year was what? We had Black Panther.
You gotta film
it. We had Avengers last year. We had Ant-Man last year. This past year, Ant-Man 2.
Ant-Man 2 was just a filler though, which is unfortunate because I really like that.
Did you watch the second one? I don't know if it's a filler. I don't feel like it was. I thought it was too until I watched it. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yo, that was the not to give away the ending or anything like that, but I hadn't got like a gotcha in a long time. Like I felt like I felt like how I felt when I watched the Avengers. I didn't know because like I was treating it like a filler. Like, oh, this is like slapstick. It's funny. It's great. You know, I love it. Oh no, I didn't. I'm not gonna give anything away.
Okay.
But like from watching it, like you forget how Ant-Man's so lighthearted. You forget like you feel like it's a whole different like genre. But like, because I used to didn't like the main character. Who's the name? What's the guy's name?
Paul Rudd.
Yeah, I used to thought he made Ant-Man too soft, but
Morgan Freeman.
Yes, him. But yeah, I like it. I end up liking the second one too. So now I'm not gonna treat it like a ugly stepchild anymore. I give the man a chance.
Yeah, I think
he made me feel like Jerry Seinfeld was Ant-Man sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
What's the deal with supervillains?
You know, just like why are you there? You know, go see it. It's on Amazon right now.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's both the Ant-Man movies are worth the watch. Definitely worth the watch.
Who's the girl in it?
Oh, she
Older girl.
lost. She is so cute.
Her, but like who's the is it, and who's the other famous actor? Kevin? No, what's his name? The doctor.
Oh yeah, what's his name?
Michael Douglas, right?
That's the one.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. With this movie, it's all the actors. I'm always like, what's his name? all the leads in the Ant-Man movies is like, oh, what's their name? Like, what's their face? I can never remember any of those people's name. Like, I think every time I talk about Ant-Man, I have to be like, what's the Ant-Man actor name? I can never remember Paul Rudd. Tony, were you into comic books much or anything like that growing up?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I'm like you said, I'm definitely excited for the Captain Marvel one. So I don't know, like they should all be good.
Mm-hmm. You got to see did you watch the Captain Marvel trailer? The new one?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was me, but did they make Samuel Jackson young?
They tried.
If you see he's in a car talking to her at one point. I think it gave him a weird.
Samuel Jackson has looked the same for like 30.
No, they gave him hair with a hairline and stuff. I was like,
that's why they
like, you snuck that in there. Is that wait a minute?
Special effects department is like, oh hell to the no.
Yo, I should go freeze frame it for you, because I was like, wait a minute, Samuel don't got a hairline. He hadn't had a hairline in like 30 years.
50.
Yeah, him and Morgan Freeman have been forever old.
Yeah, like how old are they actually? Do anybody know? I guess you can ask Google, but I don't want to ask Google.
I think
like 70.
Who's 70?
Morgan Freeman for sure.
I feel like actors in general, they hit a mark.
Freeman is 81 years old.
No, he's not. Shut up. That's not right.
I just looked it up.
Are you serious?
81. And Sam
I was going to say a
69.
strong 65, but are you serious?
Sam Jackson 69.
81?
Yeah, man. Sam Jackson's going to be 70 this year.
Can we find recent pictures? Because I feel like Morgan Freeman, like the last couple years, have crossed that threshold where, like,
pictures of themselves.
Yeah, but think about it. I think every celebrity hits a threshold where, like, they become regular people again, just famous. Because for a long time they look great. You know, you can't tell what age they are. You look up their age and you're like, he ain't 80. He cannot be 80. And then all of a sudden, like, I feel like Morgan starts to look old. like before he was forever like the 50-year-old college professor with the salt and pepper like beard. And then he started, I think I started seeing him on CNN more and a couple other ones. He started talking crazy, started be doing what he want, you know. And then all of a sudden he started looking older to me. But Sam Jackson, see, look at him.
This is Morgan Freeman at 25 years old.
Look, do you see all these pictures?
That's his big photo.
All these pictures look exactly the same. Like he took 100 pictures in one year.
No, look at him in Shawshank.
Here he's like, really, Charlie? Really?
look at that one. Look at that one there where he's in Shawshank.
Where's the Shawshank one?
The black hat. Yeah. See, he was
that one. That one's young. That's like a young 40-year-old.
He's got some grays in there.
Hey, yo, did anybody? Okay, so do you guys know the story of Morgan Freeman? Did he get like famous later?
Yeah. Way later. Look at him looking like Lionel Richie.
Yo, he do look like Lionel Richie. Sing all night long.
Morgan, stop dancing on the ceiling.
He didn't get hot till like what, 40? Yeah,
probably his 40s. Yeah.
Oh, hold on. You got that one up there. You got him as a kid. There you go. To the right.
Oh,
to the right.
See, you don't know who he is. No one know who that dude is.
Oh, snap. Look at that.
I've never seen this picture.
He was young.
No,
it's true.
Never. That's his kid.
I promise he looks like 2016 forever. Oh, there's another one right there.
Okay, this is This is Morgan Freeman's baby picture.
Look at him looking like Patrick Stewart.
Jackie killing her. So what does it look like right now?
Oh no, I think that picture with the hat.
No.
Yeah, that's wrong. That's so wrong. Now we going too far on the internet. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Internet, you're crossing the line.
Like I need to see a picture of him now. What's 81
It's
look
that,
like?
So right there with the hat. With the hat. That was this year at he got an award.
Yeah, that's Grandpa
He
Freeman.
looks good.
Yo.
He plays God like every other movie.
Yo, like all old dudes wear the hats. Like, same. It's like rounded. Like, you know, like no one ever gives them like a nice, like stiff hat. It's all like been balled up in somebody's closet in the bottom under a bunch of shoes.
That's it. Like, you got to be comfortable. That's a dope hat. And nobody like all those crispy ones where the bill is super flat and all that.
Stop hating.
With that.
Yeah, because you want the painter hat right there. Shut up. No, you don't.
Look at
No, you don't.
baby picture. I told you.
Yo,
Oh no.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
What's happening right now?
So what does Samuel look like right now then? He's not about to be. When does he turn 70? That's weird.
by the way, the leading actress in Ant-Man and Wasp, her name is Evangeline Lilly.
Yes, that's her name. I wonder how many times she gets. Oh, you that girl from Lost. Was that what made her famous? Lost?
Yeah. Well, it was definitely one of her big breaks in America.
Oh, is she not American?
I don't think so.
She got a British accent in real life.
Maybe.
She's playing us all as playing Americans as a fool. That's why I feel like all British actors come over here, have the crazy like American accent in the movies, and they be like, then they switch it up.
Canadian. She's Canadian.
Yeah.
North American.
Oh, yeah.
Makes sense.
Way to get the defeated. Okay, so here's Samuel L. Jackson.
Once again, which one's new?
He's gone.
Oh, well, that one's from this year, but that's obviously retouched from the Mr. Glass stuff. But
yeah, I'm thinking he looks like this these days.
nah, it seems like a young picture of Samuel, don't you think?
Nah, because that looks like a Capital One commercial.
Right. That looks like retouched Samuel. Oh, it might be the one top. It might be top left if you scroll all the way up.
Something like this.
That might be him now.
But when he cleans up, he looks like this.
Yeah, I don't know. Cool. It's interesting.
We're down a rat hole that we need to be. We're like.
Well, I tell you how long you got. That's what happens when you start talking about Marvel.
Oh, look at that baby picture.
Whoa. What is that from?
Look at. Even he don't believe it.
I think that one to the right there, that's him in the Marvel movie. There you go. Nope, up one. There you go. I think that's supposed to be.
Yeah, look at that hairline.
Yeah.
That's CG hairline at its finest.
Wow.
It was a quick cut too. I was like, "Is it? Wait a minute, what?" Like I did a double take. Like, Samuel got a hairline.
Yeah. Anyway, check out that hairline.
All right, we can move on.
Let's bring it back. So, what were we talking about before we went down that deep rabbit?
You brought up Marvel.
Yes. Anyway, so we are. It was a good trailer. It was. It didn't give you too much. It didn't give you a lot.
Yeah. But it gave you some things though.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it yet, it's worth seeing.
it's almost like that trailer 2 is almost always better, and then all the subsequent ones after that, because then you start seeing rough cuts. Then you start seeing stuff that you never see in the movie.
Right.
I don't know if anybody ever talks about that, right?
And how sad it is when how sad is it when you want to go see a movie and everything in the trailer is the best part of the movie?
Yeah.
So, do you guys ever do it where you try not to see any of the trailers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do it all the time. Yeah, I might not see. I like to watch all of them, but like I might not see a couple ones after this, you know. But I think because this one has such a big impact on everybody, I remember the crazy conversations behind me for people who don't go see all of them or don't go see it much. They're like angry, literally angry. Bunch of black folk behind me, literally just upset, just like really, really upset. I had to be like, "Yo, look, let me tell you, it'll be okay," because they didn't see the other one. They're just like they're ready to like go sign some petition on a website somewhere. You know, because you know how some people. That's the cool thing about Marvel. Like, you got the hardcore people that like watched it, but you have the regular fans that just go see it because they got people they want to go see it, or impact that Black Panther had this year or whatever. For people who don't normally go see those type of movies, they'll just go see it in general. You know, no matter what, you know, color you are or whatever. Like, it just introduced. I think they were saying. I read an article. They were saying the reason why movies like Captain Marvel came along and stuff like that was because Guardians did so well, and they thought that like, all right, maybe some more of the obscure ones that like none of the comic book geeks know, maybe those won't do good, but not anymore. I think Marvel just has a weird formula of humor plus action that likes.
Let's investigate that a little bit, because Guardians of the Galaxy did this, and so did Deadpool, where you can take way more chances with that property because no one's really invested in it, right?
Yeah.
You guys think that actually does it help their franchise to be able to have like those? I guess, like, how can you like a stepchild that you can make, you know, I'm going down this Disney thing, right? Disney had these stepchildren that always had to clean their rooms and clean the house before they got to go to the ball and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that that's helpful at all?
It's very helpful. I think I don't know what. Maybe Jack, you know any of this? Like, what Marvel did 10 years ago when they decided to stop licensing their stuff out, and how they built a movie division that's been working, because obviously, you know, DC's done the same thing. It was like Suicide Squad and a couple other that just didn't hit, you know, at all. I don't know what they're doing in order for this to be working so well for them, because usually it doesn't work, right? Establishing new things, people don't like new things. Establishing new IPs like that, are not really good at.
I think people like new things. I think studios don't like to spend money on new things, unproven things.
For sure, yeah. So I don't know why this worked. Maybe it's just like the directors, because they get really good directors for their stuff, right? Who was the director of Guardians or whatever?
I
don't remember.
James Gunn.
James Gunn, I think so. And then they had a crazy good soundtrack, which just felt nostalgic, you know?
Right.
What do you think, Tony?
I think, like, when you take Guardians of the Galaxy and Black Panther, I think they're two, like you mentioned with the music with Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, I think if you're not a fan of comics and you don't know who they are, you can connect there. And so it's an easy entry point. Kind of the same thing with Black Panther. They purposely wrote it so that you don't have to see any of the other Marvel movies, and it stands alone. And so it's easy for you to watch. Where, like, sometimes I'll overhear conversations when people are talking about like Iron Man and Thor. They don't want to watch it because there's 20 other movies that they feel they have to watch in order to get it. So if you can just walk into a theater and just kind of understand what's going on, I feel as though like that's a little bit more inviting and enticing for people.
Black Panther did a good job with the origin things too, like the nice little short, sweet to the point flashbacks, where you kind of really quickly get the whole legacy of that country and why they were hidden, you know, or whatever, and how that weighs heavy as you move toward the movie. So yeah, I think you're right. It's really good. It's really good with that thing.
But I think my point is we keep dancing around this bush. Is it worth a studio's money, time to have almost a sacrificial lamb? Like, so the I think for me at least, one of the reasons why Guardians of the Galaxy was successful was because it was not your typical superhero. And even Iron Man wasn't either, because if we go back to the original Iron Man himself as a property was kind of like a B-level superhero. No one really cared about Iron Man. No one even knew who the hell Guardians of the Galaxy were. So you can do basically whatever you want, and it's almost like a test just to see. And then you come out with, and the only thing that they knew about Deadpool was that the comic book itself was very irreverent, and dude was a superhero that didn't really want to be a superhero. He didn't talk like a superhero. So you can use that almost like as an experiment. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. And I think the other thing too is that if you get some of those properties, there aren't like as many people that are like attached and like invested in those things. Right. So like you said, you do have the room to kind of play around and move things around, because you're not going to have like a ton of fanboys like getting up and screaming like, hey, you didn't do this exactly how it is in the comic. Yeah. It's kind of like there's only so many people that actually like were really into that comic. So
right.
You're not going to have a bunch of negative kind of press around it.
Right. Like you want to talk about someone who has a super tight walkway is Superman. Like if you deviate from Superman in any way, people lose their mind.
You really can't.
And I'm telling you, like someone was talking about because the Superman and like he was flying around and like he was basically stalking Lois Lane. I'm like, if I was Superman and that was the girl that I had my heart set on, guess what I'm doing?
Full stalker mode.
Full stalker mode. Be just staring through her walls like.
You don't have to be close, technically. Think about it. You can be chilling at home. Just.
I dare her to pull out Tinder. I dare her.
Just burned up.
Her phone would be getting hot laser beams.
And you know, because of that, Superman's had problems based on just that.
Yeah.
Based on them trying to take little chances here and there, you know.
You got a cool character.
Letting Batman beat him up like he could actually win.
Like a punk. Yeah. Bitch, I'm Superman.
Yo. And you would think, and that's what I was saying earlier, like you talk about taking chances. I feel like DC's tried to do a lot of different types. They've only really hit it once, or really hit it right once with Dark Knight series.
Yeah.
And that was a far departure and a chance taking, but it was super dark and gritty. But it doesn't sound like it should work. When you think about like normal like actors and like who they got, and like the breakout hit of the Joker, which they didn't know they were going to get that when they taped it, but somehow Christian Bale like talking weird, like he's the Grinch who stole Christmas, was okay, and it still worked. You know,
hey, talk like last night you went to a Maroon 5 concert. He was like, "Oh, I'm No, stop it.
Like, remember they used to modulate the voice? Wayne had all this tech in the comic books to change his voice. And this Batman is clearly a gazillionaire, but he can't change his voice. So he has to do this. Like, this is
He
weird.
did change his voice. That's it.
Yeah, he did it manually. Bruce Wayne's cheap. Like, no, Alfred, don't give me that good voice modulator. I'm gonna do this. I got this.
I will say that's the one thing that I do like. The Ben Affleck Batman over.
You do like him? So you do like him?
I know the voice, yes. Christian Bale sounds like he's just talking like this, whereas Ben Affleck, it sounds like his voice is going through a modulator. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like when he's talking, when he's trying to be Billy Badass, the Superman, like his voice is dope. Whereas Christian Bale is just like, you're just like loud whispering at me. Like,
and I don't know. Even with the DC one, I'm obviously biased, but even I try to give all the movies a good chance. I think they might have something with the Aquaman one that's coming out. That's another one coming out this year.
That should be
because it's super over the top, but I don't like it. They had to. I mean, maybe Aquaman. He's always been kind of a lame.
That was a very weird trailer. I gotta say.
But they made it.
Oh.
They made him bro. They turned Aquaman into a bro. Like, yeah, he bro culture all the way. Yeah, you know, like, so
drinks. Yeah.
You talk about taking chances and stuff, and
it's pretty funny.
The studio's trying to think outside the box. I feel like they've been doing it a lot. I mean, Will Smith couldn't even save him. You know, and usually he brings in money, but like even not that lately. One too. Not lately, but look, from another standpoint, yeah, he's breaking in on that YouTube money. We can talk about it later. But like from another standpoint, though, I think from that birth, the biggest thing was the Harley Quinn phenomenon and how that revitalized that character. So from the Suicide Squads, now every Halloween or whatever, Harley Quinn has had a makeover now. Like, you don't see the old school Harley Quinn that looked like a clown and had the white face and stuff like that. Now you see, you know, Gwen Stefani on a bad day going through a breakup. Like, that's like that's basically what you see now for Harley Quinn, right? Like she brought back fishnets and combat boots. Like, it's basically like Tank Girl mixed with like No Doubt. Like,
I am mad at her.
So from a cosplay standpoint, from a cultural standpoint, I think they were even talking about doing a spin-off movie for her, you know, or there's even another movie with there's supposed to be like another one with that, like Harley Quinn Joker type deal.
Oh, with the Joker,
yeah, and then there's another one where Joaquin Phoenix is playing the Joker.
Yeah.
Now, is that the same movie or no?
I think that's the same movie. That's supposed to be the spinoff, and it's kind of like I guess like an origin story. And so I think that's they're going to tie her in somehow.
Oh no, they can't go that. I guess they could go that far back. I don't remember. I know Harley Quinn used to be a psychiatrist who studied the Joker when he first got to Arkham, and Joker twisted her mind. But is Joaquin like old school gangster Joker? Like they go on the origin? Because I don't think that story is really that appealing to go movie. Or is it he's already the Joker?
So I'm not sure based on like the teaser that they had, because I think the teaser that they had, it was just him standing there and he doesn't have any of the makeup on. And then they kind of have like a light flash over him and you see like the Joker kind of projected on him.
Oh, really? See, I didn't even see that trailer. Only thing I've ever saw with that is that weird like video that got released on set of him like during one of his takes, but you saw the back of him. You didn't really even see him, but that kind of circulated around the internet for a couple weeks, but if there was a trailer, I need to go back and look for it, or a teaser.
Yes, teaser.
But you know, historically, I mean, DC has some like good. They have some good characters. They tried it with Green Lantern, which I thought they could have did better. but they spend a lot of money with Green Lantern. We talked about that on a show, Carlos and Jack, like years ago. Maybe within the first year of the podcast, because it was they spent. There's an article that you had in Current Events, Carlos, where they spent like ridiculous amount of money on the Green Lantern budget, like a super like Lord of the Rings type.
Yeah, I don't even remember that, but
yeah, but
no
it's
one
crazy.
liked those movies,
right?
So it's good.
Which was Ryan Reynolds back in the day.
Yeah, which is kind of. I think Ryan Reynolds did those Green Lantern movies because he's been shopping around the Deadpool stuff for a long time, and no one would let him do it. So I think he wanted to break into the superhero.
Yeah, he was doing it, and because remember that first movie was directed by the guy who ran Blur Studios, the VFX house.
Yeah,
and then
I wanted
he got cut out,
but I couldn't.
Yeah.
So now that we went down that rat hole,
it happens.
What I wanted to talk about is obviously the franchise. It might be a big word, but it's not. The indies. Because this is something that is motivating and inspiring. And it, quite honestly, to be frank, takes a lot of balls to do.
Appreciate that.
So for those folks that don't know, Tony, can you tell us about the indies?
Yeah. So the indies was an idea that I came up with about 8 years ago. I was kind of just sitting around and just kind of decided that I'm not really feeling what I'm seeing on TV. But instead of complaining about it, I was just like, why can't I create something?
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that like I can't draw like at all, and so I had to figure out like, all right, like either I can teach myself how to draw or I can find like other people that know how to draw. And so that really just sent me off on a path of just doing a lot of research to figure out like what animation is, like what directing is, and just really just like dug in and did a ton of research. And I came up with this idea where I could combine music and combine animation, because like I'm a huge fan of the Gorillas and what they did, but I always wished that they would have pushed it further and like had a full length series and get to know those characters a little bit more.
Right.
And so wound up writing this story and just piece by piece started putting things together in order to be able to pitch it as a full-length series. And so about, I guess it was 2 years ago, I started planning for a Kickstarter because I said I want it to be more than just an idea. Like when I'm going out and I'm pitching it to people, like I want it to be something tangible so that people take me serious. Because since I'm not in the animation industry, I felt as if though like I got to go a little bit further than what everybody else would do. Because like I'm sure that like you guys get it where someone's like, hey, like I want to do cartoons and I want to do an animation. It's kind of just like, all right, like that's a big thing. So I just wanted to make sure that I proved myself. And so 2 years ago, decided I was going to do a Kickstarter and pretty much spent close to a year planning that out. And then last year, was able to do a Kickstarter where we raised $50,000 in order to fund basically like a little pilot trailer episode. And then after that, took about 9 months, excuse me, to produce it, and we released it. I want to say about 3 weeks ago.
How long is the pilot episode?
So the action. So the action piece I want to say is about like 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and then when you throw like the credits and title cards on there, it's about like 5:30. I want to say.
Okay. So it took about, what did you say, like 9 months?
Yeah, 9 months
to come up with. And I'm asking because there's a lot of people that are watching that will eventually also watch that they don't understand exactly how much work goes into 5 minutes of animation.
Right. Yeah, and I'm gonna be just completely honest. Like it probably should have taken a little bit longer. But I was blessed enough to have people that were really talented and really just into the story and what it was that I was trying to do. Because kind of, I guess, the underlying things behind it is that like one of the things I feel as if though like there need to be more like minorities on screen. And so making the characters people of color, like that was something that was important to me. But also making sure that the people that are working behind the scenes, like the artists and the animators, that group was also diverse. And so I think there was like 50 positions, and 75% of those positions were either women or people of color. And so I'm really proud of that, and also proud of the fact that a lot of people that were working on this project, like this was actually like their first job for some of them. Some of them, there were some people that said like, hey, like I'm an animator, but I really want to get into character design, but no one, like I can't break into that. And so it's just like, you know what, you're a talented person. Like if you're willing to like work, like let's go ahead and like figure it out together so that like you can do that and you can put that on the resume. So I really wanted to make this as an opportunity for people to be able to like grow from this. And like if this is your first job, to be able to put this on your resume so that you can go and do other stuff. Because to be completely honest, like because I can't draw and I don't do this full time, like I can't say with certainty that I'm going to do it again. But if I can,
to hopefully make you feel better about that decision. There's a lot of people who can draw that do a project like this and then they don't ever do another one again.
Gotcha.
So yeah, but don't feel like distraught or feel bad about that feeling. Yeah.
Not at all. No, not at all. I guess the point that I was trying to make was that if for whatever reason, like I never do anything again, the fact that there are a bunch of people that were on my team that can take that stuff and they can continue to go on.
Nice.
Like that's like I'm cool with that at the end of the day.
So you were talking about how you can't draw, but you still had this idea. What is it that you do?
Got you.
I was trying to figure out a different way to ask you that, but I was like,
nah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So I was the writer, the director, executive producer, pretty much making sure that like going through hiring the people, bringing them on, and making sure that the people had what it was that they needed in order to get their job done. So I was making sure that if this person is doing roughs, that this person over here is getting ready to do cleanup, making sure that like the editor is keeping track of everything, just kind of making sure that everything's staying on schedule. Because during my day job, like I'm actually an electrical engineer and I have a master's in project management.
Okay. That comes in handy.
Yes, it does. Yes,
especially
it does.
when you're trying to wrangle a bunch of artists.
Electrocute them.
Yeah. Yeah. So that definitely came in handy because what I was finding, like what I would do is like I wasn't going to go to like animation or art school, but what I would do is I would take a syllabus from a class and I would read what the reading material is, and I would just buy that book and read it. And when I was reading, I was realizing like, oh, these are the exact same concepts that I was doing in my master's program for project management. Y'all just call it something different. And so that kind of allowed me to wrap my head around like being able to like get things done. So yeah, that hopefully that answers the question on like what I do.
Yeah. You gave me even more than I was expecting, which is cool.
Okay. Nice.
So yeah, you're an electrical engineer.
Yes,
Masters in project management, and all of that stuff came in handy. Did you find it difficult to talk to artists versus whoever you talk to on a daily basis in your regular 9 to 5?
It's different, but I wouldn't say difficult, because people are people. I think so long as you're making sure to take an interest in that person and kind of learning how to communicate with them, like everything's kind of gravy. And the thing that I would make sure to bring across to the artists that I brought on was letting them know like, hey, I don't know like everything. There's going to be times where I'm not going to use the right language and we're going to kind of run around in circles, but I always tried to be upfront with them. And I think, or at least I hope, they enjoyed it because I did try to take a lot of their input, which I found it seemed as if though when they were putting input, it made it feel like their project as well. Right. It wasn't just like, all right, let me just bang this out. It's kind of just like, well, like, nah, like that's my background or that's like my character. And there's like a piece of me in there. And so I think it was like a little bit, it was good. The fact that like I'm kind of green to this. I think it kind of opened up the creativity.
Mm-hmm.
I think more importantly, the understanding of where you were.
Yep.
And being transparent, because I think, and this isn't even just dealing with artists, even though it pertains to us a lot, where someone who doesn't really know is pretending to know more than you. And that begins to turn into a little bit of resentment. And maybe I don't want to work on this project because this dude, he just thinks he knows everything and I don't get a say so. So I think that sense of ownership that you developed within the team, I think that is, I mean, that was 100% right thing to do, and you killed it.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. And you guys feel free to chime in too, because
I just had one. I had a question. Was the project itself all remote? Was everybody remote, and you were doing this in the evening, or like how was the structure? How did that work?
Yeah. So everything was remote. Because I'm located in Baltimore. You had, I think when I looked it up, I think we were across, man, I can't remember. It's either 8 different countries or 8 different time zones that we were. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. And so having to coordinate like the guy in Atlanta had to finish at a certain time because he was handing something off to the guy in Australia. And so if the guy in Atlanta didn't turn it in before he went to sleep, the guy in Australia didn't have anything to do that day. But everyone was part-time. So this was something that people were doing after they did their 9 to 5. So what I would do is I would wake up probably like 4:30, 5 in the morning to kind of check in and like see what the West Coast guys had done while I was asleep, kind of provide some notes back to them. Then I would go work my 9 to 5, might check something at lunch. And then when I got home, pretty much got like right to work to try to get some work in for like 1 or 2 hours before like my wife would come home. And then because trying to balance like work, the cartoon, and then also being a husband, making sure that I wasn't completely engulfed with the project. But she definitely like worked with me and gave me like a ton of leeway to be able to do this. So shout out to my wife, Leslie.
Yeah, girl. What's up, Leslie?
But yeah, that's kind of how the breakdown of how we got it done.
Yeah, that's cool.
Nice. And I know that you, like Dave said, that's some mad hustle.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Dave. Appreciate that.
I know that you ended up finding not Patreon. What am I looking for? Artella.
Yes, Artella. Yep. Shout out to them.
Yeah, I'm a I don't know. I'm a member. I don't know if that's the right word.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Member.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a member of that community.
Don't say it like that.
And shut up, Charlie. I'm a member of that community, and it's just really cool to see like everything that's happening and like the team building aspect of it, and it's cool to see that it's not just art folks trying to push their own art projects. Like someone like you can come in and get things done. Like how did you find it? And then I guess how excited were you that you found it?
Yeah. So I was super excited that I found it because it's all independent. It allows you to put out your ideas kind of unfiltered. Because originally when I was going about and doing it, I actually started pitching it first before being done with it. And when I would put it in front of people would be like, "Oh, this is dope. Like you got this like cool storyline and like you got the music that goes along with it and it's ready to go. But are you sure you want the characters to look like this? Like, do you have any other characters?" Which is pretty much code speak for like, why are all the characters black? And like my big thing it's just like, if you watch the cartoon for more than like 10 seconds and you're still focused on the color of the characters, then I didn't do my job as a storyteller. Like it's important, but it's not important at the same time. So when I found Artella and like saw that I could do it myself, I thought that was like amazing and super dope. And the way that I found out about it was in 2016, I went to CTN and they had a booth there. And so I was able to talk to Bobby and also a dude named Chris and Eric who have this short called Pure. If you go to Artella, like do a search for Pure. It's like this amazing short, but talking to them, I was just like, all right, cool. Like this seems as if though like it has the resources that I need to be able to independently do my own short and do it exactly the way that I want to.
And they provided the platform The team.
It's
What's it called? What's it called?
They-
The team organization platform or whatever.
yeah.
Like what?
Yeah,
Like explain Artella again for people because we haven't talked about it.
Bet.
Like, what do they
Okay.
provide you?
Gotcha. So Artella is kind of like Carlos alluded to, a place where like you can go and you can post your profile up there for your like your personal self and kind of your skills and what you do. And when you have that, you can apply to people's projects. And so kind of like a project page is similar to a Kickstarter page where you'll have like a video and you can explain and recruit people to you. But once you actually get inside of Artella, there's pretty much like a feed that you have where you can post work and you can review work and you can have conversations with your different team members and like give feedback and keep track of that stuff there. So you can post videos.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah. So kind of the way that I did it, and also like it has kind of like works like a Dropbox as well, where you
they
can
give you full
post.
service. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can post your files, and it has a version management tracker.
Really? See, I didn't get. I
Yeah.
never got far. I've signed up. I never got that far. So the project management tool, for different projects. That's cool.
Yeah.
How much space they give you for the Dropbox?
It's something like ridiculous. Like we didn't like the whole thing is up there for us. Like I don't even think it's large enough to the fact that they don't give you like a limit.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, don't go.
Do you pay anything?
Don't go going crazy and like loading up like all kinds of footage. But
Obviously, but yeah, did you have to pay anything?
Right now it's in beta, so it's free. So anyone can sign up for. Like the thing is like when I was in the room in 2016 and they were talking about it, like I kept on looking around like, yo, like, am I supposed to be in here? Like, how come people like don't know about this, and how come there aren't more people using it?
yeah.
It's just a really dope product, and the owner Bobby Beck, he's just a really good dude.
Yeah, you think
so-
people will use it because he's famous. Yeah.
I've been meaning to reach out to Bobby, but because I've been on a couple of the Artella hangouts and stuff,
Mhm.
and we've talked a little bit, and he's again super chill guy, just
Man.
super cool. Takes time to talk to me, and I ain't nobody.
Exactly. And like it was dope because from the beginning all the way to the end, like not only was he there just giving like technical like support and just making sure that we were good, but also just kind of like emotional like cheerleader, like, yo, like keep it up, keep going type stuff. So and he does that for like a lot of the projects that are on there.
Yeah, he'll sign up for some of them too.
One of the things that they do is that this platform is free for individual projects, for indie projects.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
But they have a paid tier for like the larger corporations.
They do. Oh.
Yeah. So that's how, and the money that they make from that helps pay for folks like us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so okay. So there is a commercial aspect
because
to it in terms of...
the process that they have there is very well fleshed out, and it's really well done, so it makes sense. And so they have
they
because like we can probably get to stuff like this later if you want, but have you made any money at all off of indies?
No, I haven't.
That's the point, right? So they're trying to bring people to this platform because it works. And then like eventually if Tony decides this wasn't too bad, I think I want to follow up some more and start your own studio. Now all of a sudden you have the workflow
valuable
that
experience
makes sense.
Pipeline. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
So
that makes sense. And with Bobby and everything, he also starting the online school animation mentor, I guess, pioneered this whole collaborative working online environment, you know, because I mean, I think that school in itself, a lot of schools model themselves after it because of their how cool their like online and campus environment is. I mean, I had a bunch of friends go through that program of his first ID make, and it's a really nice, you know, setup. So I love that they took that idea, whoever the people he has, and turned it into Artella and made a new thing. It's still crazy to think on how hard it is, and I mean, Tony, you know this too, how hard it is to get your idea out there or get your product into like a bunch of people's radar to see it, because like Artella is like a good example of like someone that's been wildly successful at other things, like Bobby is doing other things and has a crazy platform to show this. And you would think this has been pushed and every artist knows about this, and it'd be like a wait list to get on the site or whatever, you know. And like not enough people know it. So he has the same problems that any other, you know, indie filmmaker like you or anybody else that has an idea, getting that word out there for other people. So
but it's such an unbelievably like just crazy platform and idea, and like actually works. And I don't think I can say too much about it, but he showed us like, I guess like the next version that's coming soon, and it is ridiculous. Like the feature, like it's like, as someone whose like profession is project management, I'm just like, yo, like this is crazy. Like this is crazy. So
like
it
electric
could be used for other things.
I'm gonna make cartoons, son.
Do you think that the new version, even though you can't talk about it, do you think it has wider reach than just, you know, animation and all that stuff, or is it still
so the thing that
projects in general?
So I don't know what went into the development of it, but if I'm just taking a guess, it looks like Bobby really paid attention to a lot of other project management tools in other industries, and kind of took like the best parts and was able to apply that to animation.
Okay. Yeah.
So I guess like technically, yes, you could use it for other things, but Bobby tailored it, definitely tailored it for animation. And he did a lot of clever things that I think people are going to like.
Nice.
What was it like? So what's the process of getting the talent and finding the talent, and then obviously working with the talent? What was that process like?
It was it was dope. It was dope. So we had to, so when we started out, like my big thing was saying like, all right, like I want to make sure that I get women on the team. I want to make sure that I get minorities on the team. And then when I got like the 50,000, I was just like, oh shit, like am I actually going to be able to like find all those people and like create a diverse team? Because when I was going to like CTN, I hear executives talk about like how hard it is to like find different types of animators, and how there's like all these programs and initiatives. And so I'm thinking to myself like, yo, if like Nickelodeon can't find Black animators, like how am I going to find Black animators? Come to find out, it's like incredibly easy. Like you just have to like go and like go to where these people are. Yeah.
Just Google Black animator.
Nah, but you say that, but it kind of is that easy. Like there's different organizations and communities set up where these people are. And so it was about posting the job where these people could see it. And there were like just a ton of talented, qualified people that applied for it. And so I was just able to like pick, and it wasn't a problem like at all. So yeah, that's kind of how the whole hiring process went. So doing that, and then also looking on Artella and just trying to build a team of passionate, talented people that would kind of vibe and mesh with one another.
You know, one of the talented people that you had on your team that has been on this show at least 3 times is Sochi.
Yes, she's a beast. She's a beast.
Yeah.
She's alright, I guess. She's alright. We don't want to
Carlos Hayden
make
again.
her big. Yeah, we don't want to make her head too big.
Nah, it was great working with her.
Yeah,
it was good. Like she was super talented, and she was man. So when we were coming up with because she worked as a background painter, but she also kind of helped create the style of the backgrounds. And so like there's kind of like I kind of have like a limited vocabulary when it comes to like what I was looking for. And so she was just really dope on trying to like figure out what I was saying when I was just like, yo, you know, the red thingy with the circle and the color thing. So she was able to translate that.
She said,
and,
"Oh, the stop sign."
Yeah, exactly. But being able to pull that out was crazy, and I'm just really appreciative to that. And we had like a team of people like her that would say like, I don't know what Tony's talking about, but let me kind of buckle down and try to like figure this out. And then also having people, because it was like her and like 2 other artists that would kind of huddle up together and say like, all right, like he said this, but maybe this is what he means. And then as a team, we were able to get that out there.
So Tony, talk about your the overall aesthetic and look of the project. Who was your first hire? Was you because I noticed your art director on that. Talk about like what it was like to find the art director. Did you start there? Like where did you start in your first hire, and how did that influence the art director you ended up picking and influence the rest of the project?
Right. So it actually started with one of my friends, Brian Art. He was actually, and I guess this wasn't necessarily the first hire, like after the Kickstarter. This was like way before.
Okay.
He was the first person that actually like believed in the idea and helped me do the original character designs. And so he kind of started with the look. But as far as the art director, that was Axel. But I guess it was based off of his enthusiasm for the short, and he also did a bunch of other stuff. I think he was on like BoJack Horseman. He was on the Major Lazer cartoon. So
okay.
I'm kind of I'm fans of that, and he just has like a wealth of knowledge. And so it was kind of a no-brainer to bring him on board. And so like after that, like really I was just kind of like hiring people all on board kind of all at once. And just making sure, but I guess before I did that, I made sure that my schedule was kind of really locked down and firm, so that when I said like, all right, like background artists, you guys are going to be starting on this date, like it was really close to that. And also making sure to like talk with the character designers to make sure that we're giving them enough time so that everything kind of flows into one another.
Nice.
So when you say, I mean, scheduling and whatnot, since you said that you've never done this before, you're not even really from the industry, is most of how you gauge schedule and timelines from talking with each hire, or did our telehelp do that in any way?
No, so it was based on just talking to people, saying that like pretty much every meeting, like I would say like, hey, the biggest thing here is communication. Like we need to be honest with one another. I'm going to be honest with you about like what I do know and what I don't know. And so I'm going to expect y'all to be honest with me about what you can and cannot do.
Right.
Like if I'm asking you to, like if you can do, I don't know, like 20 backgrounds in a week, like that's cool. But if your schedule doesn't allow it, like just let me know.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Let me know that like, yo, I can only do 2. And it's just like, all right, bet. Then it's my job to take what you can do and create a schedule, create a workflow where we can still get things done. Like if we need to call on more people, we'll do that. But I can't make any of those changes if people aren't being honest with what they can do. And so it was basically just reiterating that over and over again.
Nice.
Yeah.
And let me cut you off real quick, because this is a very important learning point for us creatives. A lot of times we take it personally, or we might get defensive, or we feel attacked, or whatever term you want to use, for if the director, if Tony comes to me and says, hey, what do you think this is going to take? And I say, I think maybe 20 backgrounds, maybe a week. But then, things happen. Maybe you can't. Maybe you underestimated it and you needed 2 weeks. I think it's very important to let people know, don't take that personally. You didn't fail.
Nope.
You fail when you don't communicate.
Yeah.
And we talk about that on the show all the time. Like, it's okay that you maybe misunderstood the question, or whatever the case may be. But when you have someone who is expecting something from you, as soon as you see something is going to be not quite what you said, don't just let them know. Be like, look, I underestimated. This is what it is. And then that way, Tony, you can talk to this. That way you can start moving the pieces around and making decisions to make up for that extra week that maybe you needed.
Exactly. And I always told people like, yo, if you come up and you say that you can't do something, like as soon as you learn, like I'm not going to be mad at you, because like really it's pointless to be upset about that. Like, let's put our energy into figuring out like, all right, if we can't do that, what can we do? Like, let's come up with a solution.
Right.
And the thing that I always appreciated was when someone would maybe do like a miscalculation. Like when they said like, yo, I know I said this, but that's not going to happen, but here's a solution for you. Like, this is what we can do. And then at that point, it's just like, bet, like I can take that and I can run with that, as opposed to just saying like, yo, we're screwed. Like, go ahead, Jack.
No. I was just gonna echo what you're saying, but yeah, I mean, we have like a saying that I've heard dozens of times. It's like, you work towards no rather than starting with it. So it's like you might have a problem, like you said, you might come up with miscalculation, some new challenge, unforeseen challenge, whatever it is. But rather than coming right out of the gate and saying, no, we're screwed, or no, we can't do that, it's like you say, okay, here's a couple of options. We could do this for this amount of time or money, or perhaps this would make this easier. And like you put tangible things on the table and be communicative. And it puts kind of everybody in a much better place. It also, it keeps everybody honest.
That's crazy. I just talked about this. I just wrote that exact thing that you just said, Jack, about working toward a no, or learning to say maybe, or come up with creatively of solutions. Because we had that problem at work a couple of times. That can't be done. I'm like, I hate when they say that. It's like,
and it
stop.
becomes less and less, quote, your problem the further in the front of the pipeline you are, and more your problem the further back you are, because everybody at the front has all the creative ideas, and wouldn't it be great if we did this, and the people at the end have to sort of figure it out. So if everybody keeps that in mind, it kind of keeps that pinball back and forth a lot smoother. That the folks at the back, or the folks that are supposed to be doing something, can be honest with their supervisors or folks in the front and say, look, what if we did this instead? This would be easier. What if that was that? And then the folks in the front need to understand that and be able to work with that. And it's all just about kind of keeping that honest communication line open.
Yeah. And I guess just one more thing to add is that if kind of what it feels like, if, like I said, all right, like we can do 20 backgrounds in a week. And then I come to you and I'm just like, well, actually, we can only do 2. And if I just leave it at that, it's almost like you're dropping a grenade in my lap. And it's just like, oh, shit, like what do I do now? But if you say, like, we can do 2, and like maybe I have a friend that might be able to help out, or we can like make these less complicated, then it's just like, all right, like you just bought me more time to like figure out what to do with the grenade. And like you definitely.
Right.
Good point.
Right.
And I will say that, again, communication and being clear with what you're saying is super important. And it goes the other way too, because there's been times where I've been. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Okay. Tony, check your mic or whatever. But anyway, I've been dealing, or I have dealt with project managers where they come up to me and they say, hey, this thing isn't working quite right. Can you take a look at it? And then they say, and I reply to them, yeah, give me 45 minutes. I need to take a look at this. And I don't know why that answer, and I'm still trying to figure it out, but I don't understand why that answer is not clear enough, but it's not clear enough, because they think, like, I'll say I need 45 minutes to, 1, finish what I'm doing, 2, look into the problem that you're talking about. And then they come back and they say 45 minutes later and they say, is it done yet? I'm like, what part of I need to look into it do you not understand? So it goes both ways, right? And that's what keeps a team moving, is if you're crystal clear and the person who's expecting things is crystal clear with expectations. You set expectations, you make absolute sure that that's what everyone is looking forward to, and then you move forward from that.
Yeah. I think even what I was writing today was I think I used the word using initiative, taking initiative with artistic choices more. And then I was saying that, like, a lot of times if I give a suggestion or whatever, my word is not always going to be the end all be all, but like fostering an atmosphere where the artist has liberty to make suggestions or champion ideas, because my suggestions is always like a jumping off point or a starting point, for a conversation, right? So that you can conversate between the two, so we can have a creative dialogue back and forth, because I feel like that's when ideas come out the mix, when somebody goes in with more of an open mind in terms of and how to solve a problem. And I said, well, maybe we should do it like this. And then they was like, no, I think we should do it like this because this is. I'm like, okay, that's a cool idea too. And then sure enough, somebody else sparks an aha moment or whatever in the room around the table. Like, well, if you do it, but if you use both of those, but then do this, I think we could have something. And then after a while, everybody kind of looks like, ooh, that might work, instead of it being like one person gives an idea and it's like, okay, cool. And there's no other initiative in how to conquer that problem because two of the people think, I think we should just do it like this or it can't be done. We should just tell them to change it or tell the client to change it or change our role because I think it won't work. It'll be too hard. Coming up with that creative, like, I don't know what that would be called, back and forth for that creative fosters new creative ideas.
It's like a brain dump. And to tell you the truth, and Tony, you can expand on this. If you're working with people and they have an idea and your first answer is no, sorry, that can't be done. After about 3-4 sorries, that can't be done, they don't want to work with you anymore. Like, instead of saying, let's go down that road, let's see what happens.
Yeah. Or maybe, right?
Possibly. But, and then sometimes the answer is that can be done, but because of the budget.
Right.
Tweak it.
One of the things that I tried to do was say, like, yo, I'm open to like any idea that you guys have. I can't say that I'll take every idea, but it doesn't cost me anything to listen to what people have. And so I think that got people going and introducing just introducing different ideas and different ways to do.
So let's talk about the initial idea. What is the idea behind the indies? What's the synopsis? What's the elevator pitch?
Gotcha. All right. So the indies takes place 45 years in the future, post-apocalyptic world, but of course there's still hip hop around. So the main character, Slick, more than anything, wants to be the universe's next biggest hip hop star, and he's willing to do anything to make that happen. So one day he winds up meeting a DJ who says, if you sign this contract, I can make all your dreams come true. So of course Slick doesn't read the contract, signs it anyway. Come to find out, he actually signed up to be a hitman for hire. And so now he had to navigate being a hitman and releasing a debut album all at the same time.
Damn.
That's a mashup.
That's a hell of a night job.
Beats.
It's kind of
and the lines get blurred.
At like morality and
right.
like really like signing your soul to the devil, which I think is something that whether you're an artist or like you're an electrical engineer, like we all have to make that choice.
Right.
It's kind of like I'll use myself as an example. So people might say like, all right, Tony, like if you want to do like animation, like why don't you just quit your job and do it full time? Like go all the way for it. And it's kind of like, all right, well, like I like the lifestyle that I have. Like I don't like struggling. And so it's like, would I rather be doing animation? Like, of course, but I've made that deal with the devil, and like I have to go do this engineering thing in order for me to do this animation. And so
in order to do literally everything else.
Right. And it's actually like if you're working a job that you don't like, it's the same thing. If you're doing anything that you don't like, it's that. And it's also looking at when people, like for Slick, the main character, he has this dream of being like the superstar. If you look at people who say they have dreams and they say, I'm willing to do anything to make that dream happen. Um, do you actually mean, like, do you actually mean that? Are you willing to do anything? Um, and then you have to like look at
Mm-hmm.
like what you're willing to give up. If you're willing to give that up.
I think that's a this series is almost exactly the struggle that there's a lot of the listeners of this podcast have, because everyone works their butt off to work at a Disney, DreamWorks, at fill in the blank, Warner Brothers, wherever, video game companies, it doesn't matter.
Right.
But they all have, like, the majority of people coming out of art school or creatives just in general all have wonderful ideas, and what ideas are just rushing through, and everyone wants to build their own team of their friends and work on these ideas and get these all this stuff out. But then you work towards working at those big companies, and so this is an excellent discussion that you're having with this animation. How much are you willing to give up?
Mm-hmm. And the other thing too is, so if you're taking, like, you're using that example, the animation, are you looking to get to Disney because you just love everything that they do and like you're just so in love with like the idea behind Disney, or are you doing it because you just want to be at Disney, like you want the things that come with working at Disney, which is okay, but you have to be honest with yourself on what it is you want and why you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good point.
You know, Tony dropping gems right now in the chat.
Heavy ones too. Heavy ones.
Heavy, yeah, like,
because that's definitely that, like we talk about this all the time too. Like, there's never been a better time to be an artist. Period. I don't even care, because as artists we want to create, and then we want to put it out in the world, and then we want whatever shine comes off of it, right? Oh, look, I've made that. Oh, that's why Instagram is an addictive thing. Because we want all those likes and all the thumbs up and all that stuff. Where was I going with that?
You got it.
So that's the conversation that we have to have with each other, is like, are we we can create, this is what I was trying to say. We can create our own titles, our own IPs, our own intellectual properties, right? And we don't really need that much help. Like, you get a website, go on YouTube, make the stuff, put it on YouTube, and share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram, do all that stuff. I legit just started another show, and all it cost me was an iPhone 6, a drone, and a GoPro. But I mean, that's because the ocean is greedy and it took them all. But
well, Carlos doesn't pay attention to software.
but there's no it's never been easier to work on stuff. So if you want to animate, if you want to draw, you can do that.
Totally.
If you want to do a podcast with your friends, you can do that. So my thing is this: I've always wanted to draw. I've always wanted to animate. I always wanted to tell stories. I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to show with my friends. Does that mean that I need to work for NBC? Not really. Does it mean that I have to work at Disney? Not really. I can do all that stuff. Eventually, if I do end up at one of those big companies, I won't say no. I'll have fun doing it, but it's not gonna keep me from drawing, animating, posting, and doing all that stuff.
Yeah, you got to really ask yourself what it is you want to do. And I think Tony hit on it, because I think I've heard it explained similar in the latter part of the last couple of years. Only because you hear that kind of thing of what do you really want to do when you early on. I mean, for those of us who went to art school and studied animation and stuff like that, people ask you that a lot when you're younger and stuff like that. And I don't think you really understand. I think more people should explain it like how Tony explained this evening, of like, what is, not just what is it that you want to do, but like, do you understand what you're saying you want to do? You know, because like let's take Jack for instance, and you know, guys, you can check out like not a couple episodes ago, but when we talked about Jack's origin and stuff like that, he could talk about it. I'm sure, Jack, you have a way different understanding of working at a full-fledged huge visual effects company now than when you were going into it, not knowing, when people say, oh, I want to work at this place, or I want to work at Digital Domain or whatever, and now you actually knows what it takes to work there. Mm-hmm. So when you ask them, is that what you really want to do? Do you know, have you really researched or asked or understand what you're saying you want to do? And I even know that from working in video game industry and working in experiential stuff that I do now, of like, do you really want to do this? Telling the younger kids, because now information is out there now. It's not like, how we were, where the internet's scarce. Like, you can really understand, find podcasts like this, really understand what it is it means to be, and even in Tony's case, a project manager. Do you really want to be the person that's responsible for keeping the ship going in terms of scheduling, stuff like that? Because some people will say, I'm really organized, I think I'd be able to do that. Do you really want to do that? Do you understand it? And I think we need to ask, that's how we need to say it, instead of saying, do you know what you want to do? Do you know what your purpose is, or how to find your calling? It's more so, do you understand what you're telling yourself you want to be? And if you don't, like, how do you get to that understanding so that you can fully know what you're getting into,
Yeah. And I kind of think it goes back to, like, maybe not what do you want to be, but like, what do you want?
Yeah.
And then trying to figure out, all right, in order to get what I want, what do I have to be, or what do I have to do?
Right.
Yeah.
I think at that point, that allows you to be a little bit more honest with yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I think those, as simple of terms as they are, as be, do, want, I think those are kind of at the crux of the problem, that I think we get really wrapped up with these titles and these words and these statuses and these whatevers. The common question is, what do you want to be when you grow up? But it's like, it's less about being anything, and it's more about doing, and doing towards what you want. And yeah, it's fine to say, like, I'm a producer of whatever, but what does that job entail? Like, do you actually want to do what that job entails? Like, sure, everybody wants a cool title, but if you look in, I mean, and a lot of jobs out there are really mysterious. It's like, we don't even know what half of these jobs are until you're actually in there. And on top of it, every little subsect of the industry is different. Like, a director in TV animation is very different from a director in film or visual effects. And it's like, yes, you want the title and you want to say you've achieved something, but what have you done to get there? And what do you want to continue to do? I mean, I think Dave Assi said it great in his interview. It's like, don't put anything in your portfolio that you don't want to end up doing. This is also a lot about what you don't want to do. Like, look at yourself and figure out, like, oh, it would be great if I could work at Disney as a project manager. And then you look at yourself in the mirror and say, yeah, but I'm kind of a weird introvert and I really hate dealing with people. well, guess what? The industry is not going to change for you. You can't say, accept me for who I am. Maybe I'm just a different kind of project manager. It's like, no, you know what? There's some actual like concrete skills and personality traits that different roles require. And if you don't want that, then you should not be that. Like it's kind of like it's this jumbling of really simple sounding words that actually get really complicated.
Yeah, it's almost like we need to should do a talk. Like, because like I think you could have saved a lot of students and a lot of like incoming artists from going down one road and they go down the right one, because it's like, all right, I saw it even when teaching, like, no, you aren't really that good at that. Not saying that you can't be that good, but like all the facts, which we can go to the facts, lead to a certain thing. Like, you don't like really, talking in front of people, or you don't really want to go and do, want to go put the extra leg of like learning about anatomy because you say it's boring or whatever. So I don't think you want to be a character artist, or you don't really put in the work to learn how to draw, because you don't know how to draw now, even though you're a junior in art school or whatever, you don't really do it. You pull teeth to like working your sketchbook. I don't see you doing it at lunch. I don't see you, you rather go do this. I don't think you want to be a concept artist, like, so like, what do you want to do? And like, I think Tony said also, like, people get an idea of what they want to do. Like, and I think the cool thing about the indies short and everything, and when he started the whole thing because he was trying to fix a problem that he saw, and then get a story out that he wanted to tell based on a problem, the problem that was current, the lack of minorities in animation and stuff like that. And like, it wasn't just because, oh, it'd be cool to be an animator, and then haphazardly jump into a project and try to figure it out. Like, he had set things. He knows what he's good at, right? I always tell somebody else, play to your strengths, right? Where's his strength? Oh, project management, getting team together, obviously talking to people, corralling emotions and all that stuff and pushing them through, right? All the great qualities of a project manager in terms of like knowing what he can do and knowing his lane, right? So I think that's one thing that everybody that's listening should take away from this talk tonight, is like understanding like what you're truly good at, and then going from there. Not what you like to be good at, but like, what are you actually good at? And what do you actually want to do to achieve stuff? Go ahead.
So I guess I do want to add on to that.
Mm-hmm.
But if there is something that you're not good at,
right,
but if that's what you want to do,
mm-hmm,
then like fucking grind and like
get good at it.
Yeah, put the work in to do it, for sure. Yeah, always. I always say that. Don't ever be like, don't ever say you can't do it and just don't do it. Like, put that work in to get it. We say it all the time. Yeah, right?
Google and YouTube. And not even Google. Just go to YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we always say here on the show week after week, if you put the work in, it's a marathon, not a race. Like, just put the work in. Like,
right.
You had to put a lot of work in. Most people don't like to read books, and like the mere fact that you're looking at syllabuses and stuff like that, and learning about different animation techniques and like story and all the other stuff, like that's a big thing too. The reading and studying and up on something. I think that's what, even when Jack was talking, I was thinking like, we're in an era now where you can literally watch videos, you can literally watch behind the scenes, you can learn, you can go on forums. There's people opinions, because we know everyone likes opinions nowadays. There's ways to really understand what things do, how things work, and how an industry works. Rather than like the wishful, hopeful, wide-eyed doughiness that we used to go through as artists, 20 years ago, just hoping to get in and then realizing, oh, this is very different. Or, hoping to do something and like, man, this is not as like luxurious as I thought it would be. It's like hard work. So like, I think if people can just get in there and understand that and put the work in, then like it'd be better.
And if you are putting in the work and it feels awful and you hate every minute of it, then you probably don't really want to be doing the end result. You have to kind of like the process. I mean, it doesn't make sense to be like, I really want to be an animator, and while you're animating, hating it and be like, it'll be great when I'm an animator. It's like, well, no, you're doing it right now and you hate it. Why are you still doing this?
It's not like you're gonna like miraculously put the work in 5 years and be amazing at it and then love it because you're amazing at it now. You might become good at it and hate it still.
The most common thread you hear from successful folks or people who are where they are is like, I just couldn't get enough of this stuff. It's all I thought about. I was researching this. I was doing this. I was doing it here. I was doing it while in my sleep. You know, it's like they just couldn't stop. So it's like, you know, if you can easily stop and you don't really want to do it, then you don't really want to do it.
Yeah. It's like this. If
you want a lot of pressure, because we're talking about, like, when I'm talking about stuff, I'm talking about me doing it on my own time and I'm following up on my own ideas and stuff like that. However, let's just say I'm working on whatever, right? We could go back to Flash or animating or whatever. Let's say I like animating and it's fine. But if you want to add a lot of pressure to it, go somewhere where they're actually giving you money to do that thing that you're supposed to do. Right when you start putting money behind it, all this, I'm not feeling it today, all that stuff is out the door, Jack. That's it. You're animating and you got to get things done because there's money behind it now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's the reality of that. But then at the same time, if you're getting paid and you like doing it, that's what this whole push is for, right?
Yeah. I mean,
let's make money doing what we're passionate about.
Eat, breathe, sleep it. Love doing it. That's why I have a problem taking off work now. You know, and we get vacation, but they had the weird, awkward like silence of like, I was in a project planning meeting at the end of the week. We always do it for next week. And they're like, so Charlie won't be here next week. And everybody's like, whoa, he's getting used to not being here. I'm like, not really. And then my boss is like, no, he's not. It's the problem. It's like, and he was like, you must really like it. I'm like, duh. Like, of course, you know, like that's why you do it. There's no other way of like becoming good at something if you're not into it or not into those different little processes, you know.
But we'll say, if there is, like, let's say you do hate it, some other motivating factor where if it's like you do it because like you want this particular type of car because that particular type of
that's motivation too, yeah.
Then go ahead and do that thing that you hate because you'll eventually get to the thing
that you want.
And so that really is something that you love and like you find fulfillment in that, then
that's true too.
And there's many people that do that, right? Every day, you know, parents, whoever, moms, dads, you know,
they have the nice rides and the big house and all that stuff. They don't care.
And then on the weekend they're like, yes, I can, you know, I can do this, cookouts and like family parties and like spending time with their kids. Then it's like back to the grind, but then it's like, yes, let's get to show my kids another part of the country because that I didn't get to do when I was young. You know, you could. There's a bunch of, like you said, that's great, Tony. There's a bunch of motivating other things that get you to like, you know, work a job and then reap the benefits of that. You know.
Yeah, I'm kind of a believer that life is short. So if you can get to do whatever it is that makes you happy, like who am I to say that you're wrong however you got to that?
Right.
Sure.
But that's that conversation that we're talking about that people need to have with themselves, right? Like
have it early on, you know.
Spoiler alert. Here's a spoiler alert. You've never heard someone say, damn, did you see that animator with that big ass house and that nice ass ride? that gets to take time off whenever they want. I don't know if you've ever heard that.
I haven't.
And he's an animator.
His face is like, nope, never heard that at all.
So it's, I mean, that's that conversation that you have to
love
have.
what you do. Yeah.
Same thing kind of with gaming. Like the only people that get to put their feet up and they have the nice rides and all that stuff are the people on top that are making decisions and filling in the spaces. And unfortunately, there's a lot of us that are just spaces that are being filled. So coming back to this, like if you want to make the decisions and you want to follow up on your own ideas, like Tony's the man that has done it. He had his idea, he figured out how to do it, he researched it, had that conversation with himself, what exactly is it that I want out of this? And he did it. So it's possible. Like an electrical engineer, director, and I saw because my man Tony's on IMDb. He directed an animated short. You can do it.
And he still went to work every day.
Have you seen his badass car?
Looking a little rough right now.
He's just looking a little
My Toyota Tercel.
Like I really feel as if though, like literally, like everyone has the same tools that I had like available to them.
Right.
You can go out and you can do it so long as like you go and you put the work in. And it's like it's one of those things where I feel as if though like I talk to different artists and they have different ideas that they have and kind of like hold on to them because either out of like scared or like just not sure like where to go. And like my thing is like, yo, like y'all need to get those ideas out because I feel like the ideas that we come up with, like they're not just for us. Like that's selfish and that's greedy. Like the point is to put stuff out in the world to inspire people. Because who knows who your art might touch and might inspire that person to, like, it might sound corny, but like change the world. Like you don't know, but if you keep that to yourself, like you're literally like denying the world like that thing.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, we gotta get those ideas out there.
So I want to get into kind of the almost the boring stuff of running your own project. Like for me, my number one question would be for you would be, how did you come up with a budget? How did you know to go to Kickstarter and ask for 50 or however much it was that you asked for?
Yeah, it was for $50,000. So the thing was being able to, I guess, look at a lot of budgets of animations that I liked, and saying like, all right, if this is the level that I want to be at, like this is the budget that they were working with, and understanding like the different parts that went to that, and just kind of breaking it down there and trying to basically reverse engineer other people's budgets, to the point to where I could look at other people's budgets and kind of use the same formula. And once I started like hitting those budgets, I'm just like, okay, like now I'm in the ballpark of what we can do. And so it was coming up with um, that 50,000, kind of breaking out uh, the different roles that would be on the short, and then still kind of being flexible on like, can I add another person here? Can I move this person over here? And still be able to get the quality that I wanted to get done. So I guess short way to answer that is just a lot of research and being able to manipulate spreadsheets in order to kind of be able to do that in a quick manner.
Because that's where we start to lose a lot of folks when you start talking about money, time, same thing. It becomes a touchy subject, but it's one that we as artists need to get comfortable talking about,
Yeah,
because the reality is it comes down to, if you want to get things done, a lot of times you do need to have that money conversation.
yeah. I think it's easier to have that conversation like up front. Like sometimes it seems weird to do that,
Mhm.
but for me, like I prefer like to get that awkward conversation out of the way first. Like first is like figure out like how much like per hour or whatever. Like here's all the contract stuff, because after you figure that out, then you just get to create the rest of the time. Like
Mhm.
have that up front. And if you look at the whole time that you would work with someone, like that amount of time that you would have that awkward conversation about money and contracts, it is so small compared to the entire length of the project.
Yeah, that's interesting. Do you find bringing it up right away is sort of addressing the elephant in the room? Does it seem like from the talent you get more immediate or more honest responses, or it creates more of a pause for them?
Usually it goes. It goes pretty well. Because I found that if you don't do that, then you could tell that you like start going, and like people are getting into the conversation, like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you could tell like there's a moment where it's just like, all right, like I wonder how much I'm getting paid. And then you realize that the person like
Yeah,
really paying attention, and then you've lost that creative flow.
Yeah.
Where it's just like if the first question is like how much like how basically how much does your time cost?
yeah,
Um like it is kind of weird at first. Um and sometimes the way that I would phrase it is just like what do you want? Um and then kind of just me being honest, just like I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get to where you want, but
Mm.
at least have that like as a starting point. Because the other thing is like if I could make a suggestion to artists out there, when you're working on a project, like it's not your job to like figure out the budget. Like that's supposed to be my job.
Mhm.
So just go ahead and tell me, like if you get paid $30 an hour, like just say like that's what I do.
yeah,
From that point, like I at least know like okay, like that's what you're worth. Or not. That's a weird way to say it, but
That's what you're
yeah, like that's the
Your
like
working wage. Yeah.
if you're getting $30 an hour, I don't want to insult you by saying like I'm going to pay you $5 an hour.
Mhm.
Okay.
Like that forces me to say like, all right, he usually gets 30. Like I need to either come up here or like we should just end this conversation.
yeah.
Right.
And back to the concept we were talking about earlier, like work your way towards a no. That also, I mean, that also gives you a more informed way of approaching the conversation. Because say you like this person, but they're a little bit high, you know, you can start to then negotiate and say, well, you know, if you can do this many backgrounds in this short a time, then you're worth my time and my money and my hour. But if you only do one every 5 days, I can't afford you at that rate. You know, it's like it starts to be a more honest and like real conversation.
Right. And again, it's setting expectations.
Yeah.
Same way we talked about, oh, you can make 20 background drawings in 1 week. Well, the first conversation that needs to happen is that agreement. This is how much time, this is how much money you want for that time. You're setting the table. So now we can move forward, and there's not going to be any feelings hurt. There's not going to be any misunderstandings. We're not trying to get into an argument, none of that stuff. Like, this is, everyone is on the same wavelength.
Right.
Because if we have a conversation for 15 minutes about money and it doesn't work out, like 15 minutes is 15 minutes.
Right.
But if we go like weeks and we're going like back and forth, like at that point, then you start to have emotions becoming, like at that point, that's when it gets weird.
Yeah, that's true.
Cool. Do we have any more questions for Tony? Because it is getting late AF out there in Baltimore.
Anything in the chat? I don't think so. I think we're good.
Dave said something about the dude with the dreads is his favorite.
Rico.
Yeah. No, I think we're good. So let me see. I was coming up with some this or that's. So I have a few of them. Actually, I was going to ask you, software-wise, what did you guys use for software?
Yeah, so we mostly used Toon Boom Harmony. I want to say all the animators except one, and I think he used Flash Animate to do his.
Yeah, buddy.
What he would do is he would do his in Flash Animate and then pretty much convert it to a Toon Boom file.
Okay.
Really? Huh.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, we would bring it into Toon Boom, but he actually created like a video for us that made it really easy for you to convert it.
Good to know.
That pull it into After Effects, stuff, and throw it into Premiere to do the editing.
Nice. That's cool. Okay. Tony Drake.
Yes, sir.
This or that, Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
2D or 3D?
So 2D.
That's why you're my boy, dude. You're my boy.
Quiet.
Since you are officially a DJ, boom bap or sampling?
Ooh.
Wow, that's a tough one.
Oh, man, that's tough. I'm gonna go sampling.
Yeah. You got that Yeezus.
Oh.
Cool. That's all I got. I got so wrapped up in the conversation that I forgot to write more. So
That's all I got.
That's all I got.
Sorry. We're
gonna have to have you come back. Okay. You know, it'd be cool if you want. Like, we should, and I should probably ask you this, not online, but whatever. We should have like a team reunion with you and your team.
Oh hell yeah! Yeah, no, that'd be dope. Man, that'd be cool.
That'd be really cool. Yeah, let's don't let me forget, because
definitely not. Universe now.
Cool. All right, I'll follow up with you on that too. So now that we got that done, let's go ahead and get into artist inspiration.
You're the
inspiration. We're talking about painting backgrounds. And there was a conversation in the chat that was happening, like, how can you make backgrounds like super fast and blah, blah, blah. Like, how can you design 20 backgrounds in a week, that type of stuff. So we're going to look at visuals of Julius Kakonen. Yeah, Kakonen. Instagram.com/visuals of Julius. This kid, and I'll expand on this kid part. This dude does these insane concept art, but using photography. And he's just crushing life right now.
Wow, that's cool.
And if you check him out on Instagram, he actually does go through some of his process. So basically, he'll look around. Either he'll have an idea of what he wants to create, and he'll do a sketch, and then he'll go out and take pictures of whatever he thinks he needs to make that vision. And then he just photoshops until he's done.
Hunt for that perfect picture, don't he?
This dude, so look, he travels the world as a photographer. He has Photoshop classes.
Yeah.
And I think he has like some endorsements and all this stuff.
Okay, endorsement deals?
So he's out there making moves. Dude is 19.
Not even old enough to have a job.
Oh, yeah. Let's go to his tagline. Escaped 9 to 5 before the age of 18. Damn you, Julius.
Nice.
I was defending my country at the age of 18. Take that, Julius. No, like dude is killing this concept art / photo manipulation thing. And there's a lot of traditional photographers that I've seen kind of hate on him a little bit. And he's like, I'm not trying to be a photographer. That's your job. My job is to make pretty pictures that make people say, ooh.
Pretty picture.
He does it. Like, dude is pretty bananas. So yeah. Take a look at him if you want to get into like matte painting and stuff like that. This might be a really good resource for you. I know he's working on putting some YouTube videos together, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, check him out. Instagram.com/visuals of Julius. Look at that. Oh, that's that's the wave that took my GoPro.
You lost your GoPro today.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Nice.
So check that out.
Good.
Charlie, would you like to go next?
Sure. I will go next. Okay, here we go. Let's share the screen. Come on, screen share. Why aren't you sharing? People need to see this. Is it showing?
Nope.
No.
Okay. 1 second.
Showing your fotch.
I don't know why it's not sharing.
Inspiration is Charlie's forehead.
Yo, you quiet down, you.
Charlie got a 10 head.
Okay. All right. Let's see if it works this time. Application window.
Finely tuned machine, folks.
There it is. Is it working?
There we go.
Cool. My artist this week is a concept artist. His name is Lok Du. He's from China. Xiamen, China. Cool concept arts. Now, different, right? You can the one Carlos just showed that does like matte painting, photo manipulation. And there's been a cool trend now where concept artists have been using 3D tools, like low-end 3D tools like SketchUp and other ones to like paint over. And some even been going crazy, as we talked about in the last couple of weeks, and using Blender and all this other stuff. This guy uses a bit of both, but I like this style, you know. So he still draws, obviously, but so this is an example of a drawing one that he's done. Really cool. A little bit of a Atlantic rim, as he calls it, instead of Pacific rim. Get it?
Oh,
And then this was done in like 5 hours, I guess. But the other stuff that caught my eye is this stuff. So he has this really cool style of painting over 3D objects using really cool photo references for things in the actual environment. Because if you check this out here, you guys see that? But so you got the 3D object. Look at the 2D drawing he draws over it, right? To help with that, and then the finished product. It's really cool, really interesting.
nice.
But he also, I love when concept artists do this, where they do different like patterns and stuff to give you an idea. When I was an environment artist, it's always helpful because I like it when doing Google searches and all that stuff is great and doing reference searches, but like when the concept artists put like 80% of the stuff that you need, even if you're working on a stylized thing there, you just gotta go out and find little texture stuff. But all the little like intricate like patterns and stuff, you can go in there and grab that and make it into a pattern and put it different places. It's really nice, So this is really cool. Let's see what else we got here. But I love the guy's style. He has a bunch of different stuff here. This one also caught my eye too, right? And sometimes it's not even like everything's modeled out. But look at this one. This one's like just really reference of like how things would lay out, and then he just used those and kind of started painting over it and use those as a guide,
Mm-hmm.
So it's like interesting how he shows what he uses for. This was really cool because like, I mean, you got all that from this, like, and then he just draws it. Like, cool. But there's just a bunch of different ones. Like, I don't know. I like this guy's style. He provides a lot of information, on what you're drawing at, and then still getting in there and still painting stuff out, But then goes crazy with the drawing stuff, and then some of these other things where they're just big, huge, expensive, like cool worlds. And you remember we talked about too on these different type of sites or on an artist's page where like you can kind of see where he used to, like this is like down at the bottom of the page, like where this was like his style for a long time, and then like it almost like his style got a lot tighter as time went on, to what I showed you in the beginning. Like I love this, but like that other stuff up top when he starts to get into this stuff and like he starts like to veer away from the gestural like painterly stuff and and then at one point he was just doing a bunch of different robots, and I thought it was interesting to him at the time, and then but as you moved higher up he gets to the point where he's doing these really like tight textured and introducing 3D, and the evolution on this page is pretty interesting. So check him out. Lope 2.
Nice. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Jack.
Cool. Since we're on the topic of backgrounds, Metro Sketcher on Instagram, and he does these really cool little, just like walking around town doing little buildings and stuff. I like how like confined they are. Like they feel come on, man. Every time. Well, okay then. We don't get the close-ups. I'll go like that. I like how confined and structured they are. He's got like a really good sense of space, and then especially in these interiors that are just like perfectly designed.
You think
like
these are places he's visited?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. They all look like he's drawing from an actual sitting somewhere.
Sitting somewhere, yeah.
But they look like they could be like really cool backgrounds in an animated version of Seinfeld or something. You know, it's like
yeah,
right.
I almost wish there was like a city builder game that had this stuff as like the artwork.
Yeah,
like a version of like a better version of The Sims that was like
Yeah.
2D animated or something.
Oh, that'd be cool.
He's got like a bunch of people ones too, which are good, but I think that his environment stuff is really like what sings. It's got a little bit of like Grand Theft Auto vibe to it, but also
Yeah.
like old school like Mobius structure. Like this is super cool, which it won't load the close up for me, but so yeah, he is
That's
Metro
cool.
Sketcher. So it looks like
Metro.
he's just walking around town drawing cool stuff.
Yo, that name is sick.
Yeah,
Metro Sketcher.
cool color, great color palettes too. He's
Yeah.
he's
Did you say how he's coloring these?
got
Is it markers maybe?
um
In the hashtag?
he says ink,
Mm.
digital. So
it says in one of them, sketch, watercolor, urban sketchers.
Okay.
That's
good.
some say digital, some say watercolor. So I think he is doing a little bit of both.
Watercolor. Holy cow!
Maybe he's inking and scanning in.
So check him out. He's
Cool.
Good. Yeah.
Joey Wall says he could have had Metro Sketchual.
Oh my gosh. Doom. Yeah.
England is in the house. What's going on, Joey?
Joey Wall just comes in like, hey.
Hey, Tony. Is there anyone you would like to share?
Yes. I'm going to take it a little bit left though.
Yes.
Do it.
So with the indies, if you watch the short, there's all original music playing in the background. And one of the dope things that I liked is that a lot of people have said, like, hey, I'm not a fan of hip hop at all, but like I'm really digging what you're doing. Like they dig the music. And so my thing that I would like to do is I would like to share some music artists
Sweet.
that I think people should really check out. So I'm going to give you all three.
Okay.
Cool.
So the first one is a dude named Internet James. He's from the DC area.
Yo, that spelling is wild. That's awesome.
Amazing. Yo, you on the internet?
Yeah.
That spelling is wild.
But are you on Internet James?
Really dope artist. Like he's one of those artists that can spit, but also has really great tone. And so he does like this kind of like Pharrell type singing stuff.
Oh, really? Okay.
But he's dope. Definitely go check him out live if you can catch him. One of the other cool things about this guy is that I actually had a radio show called The Blender with Miss DJ Gems. And he sent in this song which was like really dope. And it was like the first time he had ever been played on radio. And so like we were talking to him, it's just like, yo, like don't give up on this record, like keep on pushing. And it wound up being that song wound up getting to oh man, why can't I think of the show? It's on HBO with Issa Rae.
Oh, not awkward. Insecure?
Insecure. Yeah.
Getting played on Insecure.
Really?
Great.
Oh, that's huge.
First, so just want to throw that out there.
Nice.
Good for him.
So Internet James, check him out. The next one is JID. So he's a dude out of Atlanta, but he is signed to J. Cole's Dreamville Records.
Okay.
He's a really dope artist. The thing that I like about him is that like he kind of sounds like he kind of does this thing where he incorporates some of like the cadences and flows of like mumble rappers.
Oh,
But,
really?
Like,
Okay.
and like he just switches up his flows, but he's talking about like a lot of serious stuff. And so he can go that route, but like he has bars and he can spit.
Right. Okay.
And so it's one of those things where he's just really dope. Like as like 151 Rum, like that one's a really dope song. This one Ofties that he has with J. Cole, that's incredibly dope too. So definitely check that out. And last but not least, Anderson .Paak.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Great one.
If you haven't heard of him,
That new album.
Oh my god.
You see him on Saturday Night Live?
No, I need to
dude.
go with Kendrick.
Go watch the video. Dude played the drums live and rap thing, saying didn't sound like he was playing the drums. I don't know how he controlled his breath, but like he was drummed center stage and like going at it, and his voice sounded steady and calm. I don't know how he did it.
He's like an amazing performer, an artist. So his album, I want to say, came out like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oxnard, like definitely go check that out.
Yeah, he's been around for a bit too, so I'm glad he's getting his due now. Yeah, this is like his second album, right?
Yes, his first one was called Malibu. And he was doing a lot of writing for Dr. Dre, for the album that never came out, Detox. But he also did a lot of work with Thundercat, I want to say.
Yeah.
Definitely a dope artist. So those are my three: Anderson .Paak, JID, and Internet James. If you're trying to get into hip hop a little bit.
Yeah. You like all of them, Carlos, too. Right up your alley. Try them out too. Try it. Anderson .Paak one.
With mumble rap, it's just they're just not saying anything.
No, I'm telling you, go listen to JID.
Yeah,
it's the cadence more than it being the mumble, right?
And that's just it. Like, I dig the beat, I dig the cadence. You just got to give me something. Like, I'm tired of hearing about people's cars and hoes and whatever else they're talking about.
It's all fake.
If you listen to JID and you're just like, nah, there's nothing there, dinner on me.
Nice.
I'll say that just because I'm hungry.
Go listen to him.
Cool.
Yeah, I definitely think that if you don't like it, you'll at least appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely all of them. I'm really gonna look up that Internet James too. That sounds interesting. Sounds different and interesting enough. Internet James. But if you all you guys listen to Anderson .Paak, you'll like that one. It's got his new album's like reminiscent of like all the good things about hip hop, you know. Like it's a whole like Tiny Desk series type of deal. If you watch those things, I like to like it has a very live feel. Like so if you like jazz and like a little bit of spoken word with a really good melody to it, then you don't like it. And if you like bars, that's in there for you too. But it's an easy album to listen to front and back.
Yeah. Like I would say like that's like so long as you have ears, like you're gonna dig that one.
Yeah, it's not gonna be any surprises on that one. Even if you don't listen to hip hop, it's gonna be
Dinner on Tony.
It's gonna be really good easily listening to that. Because he's been under the radar a while.
Yeah.
Been famous but under the radar. Like for some reason people come out and they make a splash a little bit, but the second album he's really like, I think people don't realize that like even all the rappers and all the musicians in general, like some people just take a while to like refine the craft because now he's actually been doing it every day. You know, they got to be doing something. People don't realize they got to be somewhere. They're not just partying all the time. So some guys that really take it seriously have been in the studio all night with those crazy hours. Like, and it's showing that like he's evolving and he's like really been comfortable. It seems like he knows a lot of instruments too. Like he plays a lot of different stuff too. It's classically trained.
Plus, I think like he like although he hasn't been in the forefront, like he's been getting checks because
For a long time, yeah.
Yeah, he's been writing for a lot of different people, working on a lot of different projects. So
he's a studio artist, yeah.
Been grinding, but like you said, it's his time.
Yeah, it's kind of like how the other artist her's been. She's been like a couple other ones been behind the scenes, just studio artists. Mm-hmm. Which I had an uncle or someone who's really into music stuff. Used to say like, you know, some of those studio artists has the best of both worlds because they know a lot of the famous people really, but like they're not necessarily famous, so they can go home and have a normal life, but still have all the benefits of playing music and being around that, you know, without having the scary hassle of like being famous, because that's a whole other thing of like the people don't realize that after they're famous of like, do you really want to be famous? You know, like that's the same thing you said earlier. Do you really want to do what you said you want to do? You know, because of the hassle it caused. But like studio artists or like studio engineers, like you don't ever really hear about them, but they're in there. They're right there all day doing the craft too, and then get to go home and be normal. Go to Target and nobody know who they are.
That's how I feel about like professional athletes. Like I would rather be like a hockey player because you're still a millionaire, but
nobody knows who the hell you are until you go to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Right? That could be any one of those other sports, like just like the people are not looking into, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so Tony Drake. If people are looking for you online and they want to catch up with the indies and all that good stuff, where can they find you?
Everything is at Blue Geek Music. So bluegeekmusic.com. You can go there. You can watch the short. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Blue Geek Music. You can follow me at DJ Tony Drake, but that's like usually pictures of my dog Oscar. So if you want to see that, that's cool. But if you want to see indies, definitely hit up Blue Geek Music. Right now, we're going to be releasing these shirts pretty soon.
Yeah, buddy.
Cool.
And if you're listening on iTunes, he's holding up a T-shirt that says, "I support indie." What is it? Indie
artists.
Yeah. So yeah, so those should be coming out in a couple of weeks, and they'll be available on BlueGeekMusic.com.
Cool.
We're still going to festivals. We're actually going to be at the Denton Black Festival in January. Like we just received word yesterday that we got accepted to that. So we're going to be showing the indies there and competing in that festival. So
awesome.
Yeah, we're just going to continue to push it and pitch it and get this thing on TV.
Oh yeah, man. That's good stuff. Congratulations on literally everything you've accomplished so far. Everything from learning how to do it to doing it. Successful Kickstarter, successful campaign on Artella. My man, you're getting it done.
Trying to.
Cool. Hey, Charlie, if people are looking for you online, where can they find you?
You can find me a couple different places. Go to my website, cargoleft.com/CharlieB. Williams. You can go to my other social media, Instagram.com/TryBW3, and check out at Almighty Pinterest, TryBW3. The new stuff in there. I even got some of my work on there and different pins now that they changed their thing. Yeah, since they changed their stuff, the stuff I put on my site gets pinned back on my Pinterest page, as well as everything else and all the other references and stuff. So check it out. Get it in your life.
Get it in your life. How about you, Jack?
As always, I'm at sketchbookjack.com and sketchbookjack many other places.
And you can find me at coconutjustice.com, Coconut Justice, many other places. I know that we briefly talked about it, but if you guys do me a favor, go to Artist Alfresco, ARTISTALFRESCO.
Yeah.
Artist Alfresco.
Get it out there, Carlos.
Yeah, go check that out. That's the new project that I came up with, and I think you guys are gonna like it.
Yeah, it's really good. Check out the first episode, guys. It's
I'm
really
working on second episode. I should be done. Well, I'm probably gonna go to bed, but I might be done tomorrow. Yeah, I think you guys are gonna like it. It's Anthony Bourdain meets Bob Ross.
nice.
Magic plus magic equals lots of magic. With that being said, this was episode 140. What did we say? 5? 140.
165, buddy.
Ooh, shut that down.
You're trying to go backwards.
Oh wow, 165. That's a lot.
Yeah, we've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, 165. And if you want to watch the rest, go to sketch.zone, and you know what else you're going to find there? You're going to find links to t-shirts. You're going to find links to Sketch Zone pins.
All right.
And more stuff. You're going to find links to our social media, because we are on Instagram, we're on Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. And if you're on Instagram and you decide to do the fun prompt, which is a motherly servant frowning in a castle in a film noir style, make sure that you go through the process of tagging us on Instagram, and then that way we can share your work so a lot of people can see it, and then we'll show it live on the air so even more people can see it.
Nice.
Yeah. And again, we love when you guys come and hang out with us live. So like Dave Atsy, Long Arm, we still have to figure out who Long Arm is. Joey was here, and there was a bunch others. Long Arm, I already said Long Arm. There was a bunch other there, but it's live. We love talking to you guys and having you guys interact with us. It makes the show better. But if you can't, go ahead and talk to us on Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play Music, and of course the almighty iTunes.
Yeah.
Get that live.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Tony? You had something to say?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say real quick on the fun prompt. If you were paying attention earlier, I said funky instead of motherly. So if you're gonna do funky, like tag me in it.
Hey, we can do this.
Do funky.
If you want to tag him in it anyway, tag him in it anyway, because we're gonna tag him too.
Yeah,
Blue Geek Music, they support indie artists. Come on, son.
Let's go.
BlueGeekMusic.com, sketch.zone, artistalfresco.com.
There it is.
Yeah, get all that in your life.
Cool.
So we will see you guys next week.
Yeah,
Thanks,
see you guys.
Later.
Later. I'm out.